Netflix's Avatar, The Last Airbender, is just 2 days away from its Season 1 premiere, and with all its recently released content, you wouldn't even expect a new trailer for this highly anticipated live-action series. Netflix thinks otherwise, as they have to keep the hype for this series at its peak. How exactly did they manage to do this? With a brand new trailer, of course. But this isn't any trailer. This is the final trailer before the first season of this series premieres on February 22nd. What exactly do we get in this trailer? Does it really get us even more excited to see this series? Is it even possible to be even more hyped up than we already are? By the end of this video, we will have all of these questions answered, as we will be breaking down the official final trailer for Netflix's Avatar the Last Airbender. But before we begin, if you enjoy everything related to Avatar the Last Airbender and want to see more content like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel, since we will be discussing everything related to this series. Welcome to the Avatar State.
Aang, you must master the Avatar State.
It can be the ultimate weapon.
The trailer starts off with what we believe is Avatar Kyoshi telling Aang that he must master the Avatar State. While these words are said, we see how Aang is entering the Avatar State. We also have some images of him entering the Avatar State in different angles, but they all seem to be from Team Avatar's visit to the Southern Air Temple. But we will be getting into this later because the images then continue with the best shot we've gotten so far of Avatar Kyoshi herself. Kyoshi then continues by saying, "It can be the ultimate weapon." As we hear this, we see images of Kyoshi looking up into the sky, which is letting us know that Aang is taking control of his body once again. This scene is part of the Kyoshi Village, or Kyoshi Island arc, when Commander Zhao and his army attack Kyoshi Village. In other promotional images, we've seen how Avatar Kyoshi defeats Zhao's army almost completely. And in the past, there were some debates to who this figure was. Some said it was Aang, while others affirmed it was Kyoshi. We actually did a breakdown, determining that it was Kyoshi based on the clothing itself, and some shots that demonstrated that it was Avatar Kyoshi. Getting back to the images, we also get an image of Sokka surprised at seeing Kyoshi and her tremendous power. Speaking of tremendous power, we see Avatar Kyoshi attacking Zhao's army, but this time she isn't just dropping down and blasting them away. Kyoshi seems to be creating an elemental vortex. We can limit it and say it's a fire tornado, but the matter of fact is that we see more elements involved, so until we can see the whole episode and determine what this attack is, we will call it just that. We then get an image of Aang in the Avatar State underwater. From the looks of it, it seems to be when Aang is creating the sphere with airbending and waterbending, which then freezes and traps him and Appa for 100 years. This shot specifically has us in awe. It's just too amazing not to admire. As the trailer continues, we see more images of Aang in the Avatar State. This one is either when he starts to enclose himself and Appa creating the iceberg in which he is found, or a scene from the season finale, which we will be discussing later on this video. We also get another shot of Aang after he is rescued from the iceberg, and some shots of him in the Southern Air Temple after he discovers Monk Gyatso's body.
Or it can save your life.
Avatar Kyoshi's dialogue ends with her saying, "Or it can save your life." And we have images of Aang entering the Avatar State underwater. Again, this scene is when he traps himself and Appa in the iceberg for 100 years. What has us a bit on edge is that they show Avatar Kyoshi telling Aang that he needs to master the Avatar State, because it can be the ultimate weapon, or it can save his life. And if we're not mistaken, in the original animated series, this is explained by Avatar Roku, specifically in Season 2, Episode 1, entitled The Avatar State. Sure, in this episode that we mentioned, Roku just teaches Aang about the Avatar State itself, but it's supposed to be Avatar Roku who teaches Aang these things, as he is the previous incarnation of the Avatar before Aang. Aang even mentions that Gyatso let him know that once he was ready, Roku will show himself and guide him in his Avatar journey. Does this mean that instead of Avatar Roku, we will get Avatar Kyoshi as Aang's guide in this live-action series? We sure hope not. Not that Avatar Kyoshi isn't a badass, because she is, but the Avatar cycle is there for a reason. Maybe it's one small change that doesn't actually affect how it flows. Who knows?
Everyone is counting on me. Am I supposed to save the world if I don't know what I'm doing?
But imagine what'll happen if you don't even try.
Moving on, we have Aang saying, "Everyone is counting on me. How am I supposed to save the world if I don't know what I'm doing?" And we then hear Katara tell him, "But imagine what will happen if you don't even try." While we hear this dialogue, we get an amazing shot of Zuko enraged and images of Katara consoling Aang in the Southern Air Temple after he exits the Avatar state, crying because of what he just saw. In these next few images, we get some interesting shots. One of these being of the Northern Water Tribe's gate, which looks amazing, by the way. It's crazy that we're actually getting this. It's a bit unbelievable on how good it looks. If this is when they arrive, it is different from the animated show, since in the original series they're escorted by water. Also, just like in the original series, they implemented the Water Tribe symbol on the wall. We also get a glimpse of Sokka and Katara on a canoe, or raft, however you want to call it. But for us, it's a canoe, and they're on dangerous-looking currents. This scene is actually from the very first episode, right before they see Aang trapped in the iceberg and rescue him. Not only that, but they even showed Omashu, and interesting enough, we get to see the refugees entering the city. This scene looks absolutely amazing. We see how Aang is in the Avatar state after he sees Gyatso's body. He is completely out of control, as expected, because he doesn't know how to control the Avatar state at all, as he can only enter this state reflexively. And of course, we have Katara trying to make Aang come to reason because she is worried.
What is that?
The trailer just keeps surprising us. The next images show Zuko and Iroh at the Northern Water Tribe. The first thing that we're going to say is that the outfit Zuko is wearing is spot on with the original version. We really like that. We hear Zuko saying, "What is that?" Of course, Zuko can't believe what he's seeing, and as he says this, we see Uncle Iroh turning around, and we also get Sokka looking up in disbelief. Oh, and don't miss Tui and La, the moon and ocean spirits, swimming in the background. We believe that this is after Princess Yue sacrifices herself to bring back the moon spirit. It then transitions to the Fire Nation's naval fleet, who are there to attack the Northern Water Tribe. But in these images, they aren't attacking the wall or the Water Tribe. They're attacking something else. A giant water monster that we see attacking the Firebenders, which hardcore fans know as Koizilla.
I thought you firebenders had some guts.
We also get to see some images of multiple flying bisons, Monk Gyatso and Aang in the Southern Air Temple. Before the Fire Nation's attack, obviously, more images of King Bumi and Aang's fight, and a really interesting confrontation between Sokka and Zuko. This is when Zuko is searching for Aang in the Southern Water Tribe, and it looks like Sokka will challenge Zuko to a fight. In the animated series, we see this confrontation, but Sokka gets easily defeated, and one change that they're making in this live-action adaptation that is actually cool is that Sokka can actually defend himself pretty well and not get humiliated since the start. Sokka even tells Zuko, "I thought you firebenders had some guts."
I don't know where this will all lead. The one thing I do know is this is just the beginning.
After this, we see images of Katara and some Northern Tribe waterbenders defending themselves from the Fire Nation's attack. Sokka and Suki fighting one of Zhao's soldiers, Aang deflecting Bumi's attack with air bending, and a shot of Aang just barely being able to glide out of a Fire Nation ship.
Aqua! Yip yip!
The trailer ends with Aang flying Appa and saying, "Appa, yip yip." As you can see, this final trailer did reveal a lot of new and interesting images, and it certainly did its job getting us hyped and ready to see more of this live-action adaptation. Tell us, what's your opinion on this? Did we miss anything? Thanks for watching the video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.